Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is. So welcome back. This is kind of one of my favorite people who's in the studio, happened to be coming through Colorado. And I was like, you have to come in. And you would say, how you can't be your favorite person. People have said, I don't like Alan Duke. Shame on you. Yeah, they have. They've said it. And I go, you don't know Alan Duke. You don't know him. Because if you knew him, you'd love him. And you'd love your wife even more, who's spectacular. She loves President Trump. Right? She's pushed, she loves him. And so it's Alan said he's never changed. I can't imagine for those of you that don't know, Alan Duke is the head of Lead Stories. So all the fact checking that got done on you, all the fact checking that got done on you on Facebook. Well, this man is single-handedly responsible for, he probably had I caught one. I got one of them, Alan. I got one of your fact checks that I fact checked you on air with the fact check, and I was right. I mean, actually, you're both right, because the person that wrote the post put the wrong bill in there, but I was right that they actually did pass it, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, and what it actually meant. But that felt good, Alan. That felt good. It felt good to win. So welcome to the show.
Good to be here again. This is, I think, my third appearance on your show.
It is. I would have you all the time.
I could be your Ed McMahon.
There we go. So Alan, I know things are changing over at Lead Stories, and you're not going to be silencing Christians and conservatives anymore.
Oh, we're going to continue to fact check.
You are,
and we do. And we still are doing it.
Now, neither side really likes you.
It's so interesting. This week, you could look on Blue Sky. You don't have an account on Blue Sky.
No.
I do. AlanDuke.com is my Blue Sky handle. There's this guy who just went on a rant about how I was a right-wing nut. I can show it to you, or you can go and look on Blue Sky for it. I am a right-wing nut. And
take a screenshot of it and send it to me so I can send it to Apollo, just so I can see the irony of it all.
It's so I get pleasure out of the fact that people on each side question my loyalties to their side, because my loyalty is to the facts. Mm-hmm. Truth be known, and I don't target anybody. We don't target anybody. I was showing you or telling you about something just a little bit ago. One day, I think I just need to do a show on my relationship with Mike Lindell.
Oh my gosh, I'll do that with you.
I've got the documentation as told through my text messages with him over the last 4+ years. You see this? I sent him a picture of the pillow at the Willard Hotel when I was staying there.
Yeah.
I did like to taunt Mike a little bit.
You guys like to taunt each other a little bit.
Oh, this is like I sent him a picture of me with Brad Raffensperger at the.
That would have triggered me. Just so you know, Brad's not my favorite person
at a news conference. Or one that really triggered him was me with this guy.
Let me see here.
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
If I were in a room, if Bill Barr is like one of my least favorite people.
I understand why.
Yeah. He's one of my least favorite people based on a lot of different reasons, but mostly because there's enough evidence today. There was enough evidence 4 years ago for them to investigate the machines and what happened in 2020. And they didn't, based on stand-down orders by a man named Bill Barr.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not saying I'm a fan or an enemy or anything of Bill Barr, but it is a fact that he allowed me to take a picture with him. That's the only thing we know. Or Mike Lindell texting me saying, Mike Lindell's texting me saying, "You are a traitor." I answered about, you want to read, this was August 22nd, 2022. What did I answer back to him?
Mike, I'm saying a special prayer for you tonight that you will find peace and tranquility. I welcome your call if you wish to pray with me.
That was in 2022 when I was being called a traitor repeatedly by Mike Lindell.
Well, so, I mean, can I be the arbiter a little bit of reality, though?
Sure.
It is difficult when you're in the middle of the fight and you have so much information related to election fraud, because you and I don't agree on some of this stuff. And I said that I'd spend time.
I only disagree with you where you're wrong. That's the only time.
But I'm never wrong. So then you don't.
Well, then I guess we don't disagree.
but it's not that you were writing all the fact checks anyway. And you
I was writing a lot of them or supervising a lot of them.
And
but
you were also fact checking your fact checkers. Like there was many times that you took them down.
Yes, we would make corrections, updates.
They're not called corrections. They're called you were wrong.
We would unflag content when we were shown to be wrong.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of times, here's the issue that I had is that Facebook and others would apply a fact check to something that had nothing to do with the fact check itself.
And that was not us doing that.
And then you get struck, because I got struck almost on every.
There was a process where they used, I guess you could say it's AI, bots that did matching. And when they would make a mistake, it would, some of them would be kind of spectacular, but that wasn't fact checkers doing that.
Okay, so who was?
But we
that?
did help people correct them. I just did one a few minutes ago.
You made it impossible. I tried everything. Man, I would be like,
just a few minutes ago, I got an email from someone who had been flagged in what we call a fan out, which is where we publish a fact check and we flag something on Facebook and we believe correctly. And then the system that's not us will go and try to match it up and fan it out to many, many more and flag them. And they have no route, but eventually they email us and say, "Hey, why was this?" And we help them resolve it with Meta. I just did it a few minutes ago with an example. But yeah, so that did happen. But, if you want to talk about the importance of fact checking, this is what I say. We are still fact checking on Meta. A lot of people don't realize that that's still happening, but it's still going on because they're rolling out their new community notes process, but they've not done it yet. So we're still fact checking. You're going to miss us when we're gone off of the Meta platforms. You, Joe, will miss us. You people on the left will miss us. You people in the middle will miss us because I believe we're providing a service that is important for democracy, not censorship, but in fact enhancing free speech by making sure that you know what facts are, that we research them and put them out there. And I think that is very helpful to the process of the dialogue that we all have to have.
Yeah, I agree with what you just said. I agree that dialogue and truth is the problem. The problem is that for the last 7, 8, 9 years, you've had people running around saying, live in your truth, right? Well, there's only one truth. Either it is true or it isn't true. It's not. There is no in between. And
there are opinions, and then there are facts or truth.
Right, but that gets down to my issue. There was a fact check, and I want to go back to it because I think it's important, that Joe Biden was mentally deficient, that he had mentally incapacitated to some degree and was unable to make decisions. It was called into question 5 months into his presidency, right? There was a fact check that came out, and that fact check said that there's no evidence to suggest that Biden was in any way having a mental decline. But it's so
Who
obvious.
did that? Who did the?
I don't know. It was so long ago. I thought it was absurd to even think.
Let me put it this way. There were fact checks that we did about Biden's mental or physical conditions that were focused specifically on a claim that, this is a real video of Joe Biden doing something. And it wasn't a real video of Joe Biden doing something. And those are the things we would fact check. Or Joe Biden.
I mean, some of it was
or here's the one, like in France, at the Normandy observance, where they said Joe was off talking to somebody who didn't exist. when actually, if you look at a wider version of the video, you see he was talking to some paratroopers sitting there.
How about the fact he tried to shake hands with the air? You have to admit, like that was a real one. I saw the panned out one. He put his hand out. He's looking at a ghost, I guess. I don't know what he was looking at.
Well, you don't believe in ghosts?
Yeah,
Come on now.
I believe in spirits, but I guess
But there are specific ones that we would fact check, because when you look at it, the wider video or other things there. I'll give you some examples of just recent ones. Do you remember our defense secretary was in Europe and holding his first news conference, and he was reaching up for a glass under the table and drinking it like this and putting it down? What people did with that video?
No, I can't even imagine.
They said he was, oh my God, he can't even make it through a news conference without drinking bourbon.
Oh, I mean, come on, that's absurd.
Do you remember that one? And because they
don't make clear bourbon.
Well, it wasn't clear if you looked at it.
No, I'm just kidding.
You can go to leadstories.com and you can see the fact check of the defense secretary allegedly drinking whiskey. And I wrote this actually on a Saturday, I think it was. I wrote this story. And I went the video version that was shared on X and Blue Sky and other places showed it did look like the liquid in the glass was brownish.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to I think it was the C-SPAN version of it, and I went to the other version, and you could see it was not. It was just, it looked tinted, but I don't know if somebody had put a filter on it or what. But anyway, that's an example of a fact check of where people take a video that millions of people see, and there are a lot of different versions of it, but they reinterpret it by selectively editing it. There was another one. I caught a lot of grief this past week from people who post on Blue Sky, because I published a story this past weekend that said President Trump did not admit that the 2024 election was rigged so he could be president. What they had done was they took the video of the president in the Oval Office, which everybody had access to, and edited it. They truncated it. It was with the FIFA guy, and he said, "It's they rigged the election, and so now I can be president during the World Cup soccer here in the U.S." Well, what he was saying was that because he had the gap in his terms, that meant in 2026 he's going to be president, whereas he would have already been out of the White House by 2025. But anyway, I caught so much grief because I pointed out that no, the president did not admit that the 2024 election was rigged. I was called a right-wing nut on Blue Sky.
I'm gonna tell you why you're called a right-wing nut. And by the way, the reason why we have Alan on, I actually truly love Alan. Every time I have a conversation with him, it's a fun conversation. And he accepts me where I am. I accept him where he is. He's getting closer to me than he was. I think his wife's dragging him there, though. It's kind of tugging on you. Okay, because his wife she's a beautiful woman. He has 3 beautiful daughters. So I will tell you, and they're all smart and amazing. And that's a good sign of the character of the individual. So hats off to you for your children. Apollo, can you put up lead stories next to us for a minute?
Oh, this one.
I want to just put it up on screen. I know why they call you a right-wing nut now. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm amazed by it. Go to the very top if you would.
People never go to our main page and see the whole bulk of our work. This is the thing, we all live in bubbles.
Yeah, I think the person that actually said you're a right-wing went here. I'm pretty sure they did, actually.
Well, they might have gotten flagged or something, or saw a story. You only see if you are of one part of the spectrum, you only see the ones that say you're wrong about something,
right? Because
you get sent there by Facebook after you're flagged.
All right. Well, let me just tell you why they think you're a right-wing extreme. I'm gonna just tell you. First one you did, fact check. Donald Trump did not tweet, if the Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately in 2012. And he said, fake tweet. Okay, so that's strike one, right? You're strike one. You're actually you're pimping for Trump. It's really bad. I can't believe you're.
No, we're just pimping for the truth.
I'm getting to that. I want people to understand.
Go on.
You know, because I get these text messages and I get these emails. Why did you have Alan Duke on? Man, I'm telling you, I've spent time with Alan, right? That's why I have him on. All right, second one, right next to it has fact check. Fake photo shows Rep Nancy Mace with exaggerated features. Apollo, it is the one right next to that. If you could put that back up on. And it's edited. So show the picture. And
this is crazy.
So that's the edited picture, right? And this is the real picture right below it, right? And you know what's really difficult is that when I bet you that if I went out there, they had people that were talking about the first picture as if it's real. There's people that are just that dumb.
They think that it is. And on the other thing was something that we're fact checking today, I think, or maybe it's already been published. I don't know. Someone used photo editing skills to switch Michelle Obama's face with her brother's in a picture, and they just reversed the face.
They kind of look the
same. Faces.
Michael
they're siblings,
yeah.
But to make her look very manly and him look feminine, and they reversed it. So it's just we just look at this is not real.
Alan, have you seen the wiener pictures? I've seen the wiener pictures.
I have fact-checked them. Listen, one of my favorite fact-checking stories is...
I'm going to get you going about the wiener for Michael Obama.
Several years ago, I spent all day long researching if Michelle Obama had a penis. At the end of that day, at the end of that day, I found myself at a seminar panel discussion over at UCLA campus. At their law school.
You found out she had a penis?
No. And so I made a comment that, okay, so, I'm a fact checker. This is what I did all day. At the end of the panel discussion, this kind lady with a British accent walked up to me and said, I've always wanted to meet a fact checker. It was Helen Mirren.
Oh, really?
Yes, one of my favorite actresses.
Wow.
Because she was so impressed with the work I had done to determine if Michelle Obama had a penis. No, that is not a real photo. You can do a search on leadstories.com and you'll see what I spent a whole day working on. Michelle Obama penis. And you will find my work. I did not win a Pulitzer.
Did it say unproven? I had to say unproven. Have you seen her with no clothes on?
It was it was an altered photo. No, I've not seen her.
It wasn't altered. It's a video. They had a video of her.
Every bit of evidence that I've seen is that she gave birth to 2 children.
Where? There's no pictures. No baby pictures?
No
pictures?
No baby pictures.
I mean, if look, you remember the old saying, and somebody say something, you're like, hey, no pictures didn't happen. I'm just kidding. But this is kind of the society we're in. Like, you need to be a favor, strip down. I want to see if you have a penis. Okay.
Well, they
just settle it right here. Just pull your clothes off.
It's a shame. I mean, it used to be that, you've got to, where's the birth certificate? It came out. Anyway.
Yeah, but the birth certificate, they used a program that's available today.
Still going on. I know the whole
But they can now pull it apart. And here's the thing. I wish I could tell you that I actually care about the birth certificate, but I don't. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I think that I'm more concerned about the election. And if everyone wants to know, everyone knows this about me. I've said it over and over again, that I was fooled in 2008. I wanted serious change. I wanted change. I wanted, I wanted the racial divide to be stopped. And I grew up in that area where racial divides were pretty prevalent, right? And so my black brothers and sisters, I wanted them to have this ability to us to meld back together. And in large part, there's a part of that has happened, but I thought that this could be a moment. This is a moment that we could create some unity. And so I voted for president, for Barack Obama in 2008. Now in 2012, I promptly saw 4 years of absolute misery that he created and a lot of really bad things and a lot of promises broken and things like the Affordable Care Act and everything else. It was just a disaster. So I did not vote for him in 2012 because he furthered the divide. Like I was in the middle of it and I could see it literally. And it was like crazy. what was happening. But I wanted what he was saying, a very eloquent speaker, very charismatic guy. I'd equate him almost a better orator than I think even Clinton, because Bill Clinton was a very well-spoken man.
He could talk.
Yeah, so I'm not a guy that just votes for someone or goes and says, I'm going to support Trump because it's Trump. I support President Trump because he's an ethical, moral man that has proved throughout his entire life that judge me by what I do, not by what other people say I do. And they've always done that. Like they've always used this slung mud at him, right? But if you look at the way he's lived his life, you look at his children, especially, it's hard to look at a man like that with such grace that he has in his family. Like his family is, then you look at Biden and you're like, look at Hunter, look at his daughter. Their entire family is a complete disaster at an epic scale, right? Not one came out good, right? So I look at it, and that's anyway. So that when I look Michelle Obama and the penis picture and that, coming back to it, I don't know. I don't even think I care, other than the fact that wouldn't it be funny if he actually did come out and all of a sudden she did have a penis and that they were. It would be kind of weird. Are you looking for monthly income without risks of stocks? Here's something you won't hear on CNBC. There's a unique way to collect royalties directly from America's most productive oil fields. No exploring, no drilling, no operating headaches. You simply collect checks month after month. The best part? You can get started with just $25 through any brokerage account. The Oxford Club Chief Income Strategist, Mark Lichtenfeld, breaks down what he believes is the .1 oil royalty plan for 2025. Visit oilboom2025.com now to learn more. That's oilboom2025.com. Stop buying oil stocks and start collecting oil royalty checks instead.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. Hi.
In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
I'm not going to prove if I've got one or not, so don't even ask.
You have 3 girls.
Oh, but show me the photos.
Oh,
I do have plenty of them.
But let's look at some of the other pictures that you have on Lead Stories.
Okay.
And so I want everybody to get the perspective of perspective. Why is Alan Duke being called a right-wing extremist on Blue Sky? I told you they'd turn against you. The next one down is Elon Musk did not announce that he had acquired MSNBC for $900 million to put an end to toxic programming. It was a made-up story.
I think we just published that today.
Yeah, it's totally nuts though, that you have to even say it. Like, no, he's not going to buy MSNBC IA.
So this is part of a formula where people are trying to get clicks on social platforms, and we have debunked several claims that Elon Musk bought The View, the TV show, for $900 million.
Yeah.
There's all a pattern to them. And they do get success. The reason we actually fact check them usually is because people seem to be believing them and sharing them.
Right.
So
here's another one. Audio of Trump saying Tesla was a modern day Isaac Newton is not authentic. I almost want to play that video. I mean, that was, it's only 10 seconds long. Can we do that? Can I do that on this? Is that possible? All right.
yeah, these AI tools are just
Dude, they're amazing.
crazy.
I'm going to tell you how amazing it is. I was outside of a room and somebody was messing around with Eric Coomer, right? The Dominion guy that I was on the call with, and with his voice. And I don't know why I hear people. I don't know why I can hear. That's Perry calling me.
Oh, really? He
Yeah.
must be on his way.
Must be on his way. Okay. Just send him a text really quick.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But I heard his voice inside the room, and I stopped. I was sitting there talking to someone. I stopped for a minute, and I went, "What the?" And I ran into the room, and I was like, "Play that again, play that again." And they started laughing, and I was like, "What do you think's so funny?" And they had used an AI tool in order to reproduce his voice, right? And so I was mortified that could happen. Somebody could do that. I was mortified. And I didn't, and I'm in the tech
You
business.
subscribe to the tool for like $10 and you get the professional version.
It's unbelievable.
And if you learn after a few minutes, you learn how to really tweak it. I've done it. I practiced with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of scary because then I'm like, wow, you know, I'm a guy that like records. Like I went to the store. I have my calendar. I've got a program that tells me where I went. So I go back and so I can track everything. And I do that because, you know, there's always this thing for me that is fearful. Do we have it yet? Have the video yet? All right, play this. This is a fake video.
It's fantastic, fantastic. He was a smart guy, you know, Tesla. First the light bulb and now this. He was like a modern day Isaac Neutron. It's remarkable, really.
It is funny.
Isaac Neutron, though. He said neutron. By the way, it's Isaac Newton, just so we're clear. And Isaac Newton didn't invent the light bulb either. So it is funny in so many ways, but people are like, "Oh, President Trump."
So we have a sense of humor. I mean, and this was funny, but people believe this stuff.
Oh my gosh, they do. But this is why they call you right-wing extremists, because those did cancel the contract with a Texas nonprofit that's being paid.
Well, this is an example. We've started doing more of these. This is true because a lot of people say, no, that's not true, because you don't know what to believe. So we do more fact checks where we conclude, no, it's true. Doge did that.
Yes. Yeah. $18 million a month for a empty shelter. That is true.
3,000 beds because they had
Empty.
to be ready in case a bunch of folks came and needed to take a nap.
But it was $18 million per month.
Yeah.
Which, if you add 18 million over 3,000, it's not a good statistic. Okay. Face check, altered image of Michelle Obama swapped faces with that of her brother,
Right.
Craig Robinson. Face was swapped. Satire, Doge did not find Michelle Obama had been receiving monthly $122,000 payment from the GSA since 2009. It's satire when it had an original from satire.
Mm-hmm.
You can go down even further. Fact check. Video of Putin speaking about Russia terms for ceasefire is not from 2025. It's from June of 2024.
This is a common thing. People will take older video and repurpose it like it's new and relevant to something that's happening.
I fought against this.
Mhm.
I fought against this because I was watching RT. I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, Joe, why are you watching RT?" Because they at least tell you the truth. Like, we don't have very truthful news here. I mean, I get my stuff from Gateway Pundit. Oh, sorry. I need to turn this off. From the Gateway Pundit, which is sad. I can't go to local news.
Oh, they sued me or my company.
I heard
Gateway
a
Pundit.
little about that.
We beat them. We beat him.
I mean, Jim Hoff's a good dude, man.
Well,
Jim and Joe Hoff, they're good people.
Give him my regards. He cost me a lot of money in lawyers. I don't know if you know how that feels, but
I do.
we won.
I know what somebody costing me a lot of money means as well,
Yeah.
especially when they're even on our side. That, I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
By that.
So,
But I will tell you that there's when everything kind of flushes out, if it looks, you consider yourself a hammer and everything looks like a nail. Right. So there's a lot of that happened over the last 5 years. But I mean, the reason why you're a right-wing extremist is because you actually are stopping the left from creating fake content that people are consuming.
and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. It's the left traditionally, I would say 4 and 5 years ago, was really not that good at it.
Yeah.
They've gotten better. They've learned. AI tools have made it easier for them. And so the fact checking of this across the spectrum it's taken a turn in the last few months, especially. And I'm going to say again, you're going to miss us when we're gone. Somebody has to be the umpire in a baseball game. I'm not saying this isn't like a Kansas City Chiefs game though, where anybody tackles Patrick Mahomes, all of a sudden it's a flag against them. We're not that kind of referee, but somebody's got to at least, when we throw a flag, it's not like we're changing a game, but we are informing people. We add information. We're not taking away information. If a platform chooses to suppress distribution or take something offline, that's on the platform. It's not on the fact checkers. We don't have the ability to, quote unquote, put somebody in Facebook jail. We never did. And that was a misunderstanding of that. We don't even know what they do, but we just go with the facts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just got a break that for everybody to know, the DOJ in a press conference just announced that they are in the midst of the investigation into Tina Peters.
Oh,
so kind of a big deal, kind of a really big deal.
That would be.
What's that?
That would be a big deal.
That is a really big deal. Tina Peters needs to get let out of jail. Yeah, crazy. And by the time you're hearing this, because we're recording this a little early, you'll probably have already gotten that information off my socials. But pretty awesome stuff. Okay, so I only have you for another 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And I think Perry's going to be here. I won't talk about Perry because I told him I have him on the broadcast.
Yeah.
He's going to come on the broadcast with me, he said.
Yeah.
He's one of the most, he is like the Dos Equis.
He's my business partner, co-founder of Lead Stories.
And one of the most interesting men.
When you meet him, it will blow your mind.
Yeah. He's an amazing guy. I got to go to lunch with him. And I just sat there like this. I was like, this guy is awesome. He's just an awesome guy. Alan, what I've constantly talked about bridging the divide between the public, right? That the left and the right is kind of this anomalous thing where most people believe 95% of the same stuff, and we get triggered based on these outside agitations that attack your sensibilities. Some of them people are just retarded when they bring it up. Some are real. Some of them are real on both sides now. But as you start fact checking and you get attacked by both sides, you're a man with no island.
True.
So why do you do it? I mean, because I know there's things that I don't do anymore because I'm like, I'm just out. I'm done fighting that fight. I beat it with a horse, but it's like a dead horse. I can't get it to do anything more.
It's never bothered me to be attacked for something I believe in. I would love to just sit down and explain to you about my just what I know about my ancestors. I'm very proud to be an American, as Lee Greenwood would sing. I think that this country has been built on people who didn't mind being attacked for doing the right thing. And if you know, I come from a long line of people who are that. And so I'm got a thick skin, whether it works in my favor or not. So, so when Mike Lindell goes on Jimmy Kimmel, which he did twice, and says, "Shame on you, Alan Duke, shame on you, Alan Duke," I just pray for him and literally send him a text letting him know, call me and let's pray. Because, I don't hate anybody. We're all Americans. Well, at least the ones who are Americans are Americans. That makes sense. You can fact check it. And, we're very blessed to be here. But one of the things that we have to have in our society is truth, whether you agree with the facts or are comfortable with those facts and those truths. We have to know the truth. We have to respect facts. And that's what I'm about. And that's what we're about at Lead Stories.
Yeah, I've always appreciated that about you. And when I first met you, it was at the DNC.
Yes.
Remember, we were on the, I don't remember.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
In the Trump Tower.
Mm-hmm. We were in the Trump Tower, and I just started talking to you. And I think we just ended up talking for like 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe this? And I was like, no.
Well, talking with you was eye-opening. and that's why we ended up crossing paths again at the inauguration. I was there. And now here. So it's been it's been enlightening to me and encouraging to me to meet you. I love the concept of your Untamed podcast, your show. The idea that you have people on here that you don't necessarily agree with, but you respect, and that's the really important thing.
Yeah. So, and I want to clarify it. I think everyone knows that that there are things that I have different experiences in my life. I've been in different places. I've done different things. So as a result, I learned to accept people where they are, not where I want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
My business partner is a gay, married Jewish father of two, right? Who used to love Bernie Sanders. He doesn't like Bernie Sanders anymore, right? He's graduated past that. And I do believe that there's a thing that happens when you're consistent in your character. People can just throw everything at you. Like Jesus was consistent in his character. I'm not Jesus. I follow Jesus. I'm not Jesus. I will throw someone around like a rag doll pretty quick, right? I mean, I've never seen a fight I didn't like. But at the same time, I've learned that I have to temper that with humility. I have to temper that with forgiveness. And so my life has been pretty amazing. But I would never say that they're like, well, Alan Duke this, or, I mean, people send me texts and I'm like, you have no idea. I said, well, let's get on a 3-way call with Alan Duke.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I can't get on a call. And I was like, and it's because you're never going to be able to bridge the divide between you and your neighbor, let alone anything else that somebody has that may or may not even be subjective. So I just appreciate the work that you do. And I hate the fact that you have fact checked me before, but I can live with it and I'm okay with it, even though I still think I'm right.
The person who's fact checked me the most is my wife. So
good. See, she's got you. That's what did I just say? She got you.
Fact checking is an act of love.
It is. It is. I think that if Galatians 4:16, am I the enemy because I tell you the truth? And that is a real problem. People have trouble, swallowing the truth on both sides. And I've become more and more ingrained in the idea that, hey, I'm going to tell it to you. If you don't like it, tough, right? And I don't care if you like me or dislike me. And I do appreciate that about you as well. I'm still not going to have a Blue Sky account. All right. This is a special interview. I don't know when we're going to air it yet. So when you see this is not going to be live. But I will tell you this, a couple things. Support our sponsors that are here. Just go to leadstories.com. Just go to Lead Stories. He didn't pay me to say that, right? Go to leadstories.com and read the fact checks. And then make a decision on whether or not Alan Duke good, Alan Duke bad. Because I'm going to tell you right now, he is a good man who has done good things. And it's a very unpopular position to be in. What he's done is very unpopular. Nobody wants to be fact checked, right? And even though I actually want to fact check against him on a previous fact check. Just want to point that out on the air. Go back to the first interview, watch it. But he does so with grace and with truth in mind, and he has the utmost integrity, and I have the utmost respect for him. So, Alan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know if you're going to see this before or after, probably after. So I will tell you, if you did not go watch the interview that I had with Matt Wallace and Jake Lang are in the studio. So that was probably yesterday probably yesterday. That was Friday, the 14th. Go watch the interview. It's going to be eye-opening. Until then, God bless you. Thanks for joining us.